Hello there everybody, this is Alex from Hardcorian, guys, bringing my guide for BioShock Infinite on 1999 mode without using any of the dollar machines. Today we're doing episode 13, which is going to be the factory. So this takes place straight after Finkton proper. Once you get done with Finkton proper completely, you come here, and this should technically be the last place we go because we do take an airship out of here, so this will be the last of the Finkton property. And amongst entering the factory, you're going to be not bombarded by enemies, really. There's not a whole lot of enemies to really take out. Most of the Fox themselves can take these guys out, but near the end of the level is where the really hard part comes into play, and I will be fighting a handyman. I will die, and I will skip to the part when I actually finish off the handyman just to save us some time. So essentially I found out a somewhat decent strategy with fighting the handyman at that part, and I will share it with you when we get to that point. But for now, all we need to do is just make our way up to there, and then eventually I think the Vox Populi is just going to turn against us, and then yeah, I think it's like after this part, like we talk to Daisy, and then she's like, "Oh no, you're the fake one. The real Booker died long time ago. You ain't the real one," you know, shit like that. So, amongst leaving the elevator, that's when you have the option to finally start shooting these guys down, and they actually have a health bar with it. Instead of just shooting them naturally and killing them that way, you know, this time you actually get rewarded for killing them. Or, well, granted, you do get stuff for killing them before, but this time they actually have health bars, and they are real enemies now, so you might as well just get the drop on them, because they're going to fight you anyway. You know, there's no reason to being nice. Just shoot them and kill them. Just fuck it, who cares? So in here there's gonna be a bunch of, as you can tell, vending machines. So there's like a couple, I think, not a bunch. There's a bunch of ones that are not used, but there's there's the main three. You got the main three here, so you need to upgrade, do what you need to do. You know, if you're going for the no dollar bill machine, then don't touch the dollar bill machine. Back here is going to be a piece of gear, which I can't tell what that one is, and I don't really equip it because, okay, this one seems to be good, but I don't equip it knowing that what I have now I think is really good enough. I think what I have equipped in general in all my equipment slots is good enough, so I don't really need to worry about any more equipment, thankfully. I go ahead and upgrade the Bucking Bronco, which I forgot what that one gave me. Was that the chain attack one, or was that the cost less one? Because I don't remember. I don't really remember exactly what the purchase was, but essentially I'm going to try to upgrade the Bucking Bronco to full max because that's a relatively decent, you know, Viger for sure. And then once we get to, what's that place called? Downtown Emporia? Once you get down to, like, Emporia, that's when you're going to want to start saving your money. At least a couple $1,000s at least. So that way whenever you get sent for less, or what is it? No. Return to Sender, that's what the power is called. When you get that ability, just upgrade it completely immediately. That way you can save yourself the trouble of having some of the harder fights later on, you know, be too hard. So this right here, I forgot what this damn thing is called. Essentially, it's an ability where you can push people away from you, or you can pull them toward you. To me, it's not that good. You can combo with it, you know, into a ram attack or anything else, really, but it's mostly good for, like, enemies that are small and near edges, and, you know, if you don't feel like bucking Bronco and wasting ammo, then you can shoot them, or, you know, take them out that way with your Viger that way. But, you know, I think this one wastes way more salts than Bucking Bronco does, so really Bucking Bronco is probably the better option. At least I feel like it. And plus, Bucking Bronco, you can knock off multiple enemies. You can have them float in the air and then get them that way. This is just more of like a bully tactic where you can just push them down, and that's really about it. It doesn't feel really that good to me. So this upcoming part right here is going to be, I'd say, one of the more difficult moments in the game, for sure. Especially how early it is in the game. It's, well, this is like over halfway through the game, but you know what I mean. It's too early for it to be this retarded hard, I feel like. So they throw out as much bullshit as they possibly can, and what I decide to do is I decide to grab a bunch of weapons that I think would be useful for me. Burst gun isn't. I don't know why I picked it up. I think I picked it up just to show it off, probably. So I don't remember if I showed it off yet or not. So there's that. There's also a vending machine down in the middle. So when you come down here, down these stairs, and toward the middle, there's a vending machine if you need to use that. which I think that's a dollar machine. So, again, if you're going for that achievement like I am, which I'm not in this playthrough because I don't have any reason to, but if you're going for it regardless, then there you go. So, the burst gun's nice because it has some decent range, but it does shit for damage, I feel like. To me, it does. Yeah, so here's the damn stupid thing. You can grab an enemy, and then you can push them, essentially. And I think I might push the fireman off. No, looks like I bucking broncoed him and then pushed him off that way because I realized, yep, there's no reason to push him off because there's a fence there. So that's another reason why I don't like that ability too much. I'm sure you could probably find some use with it. I just can't. I apologize. I'm stupid. But that happens. Also, try to save as many of the health packs down here as you possibly can. Don't waste them immediately. If you die to these enemies, that's fine. But if you die to the handyman, that's what really sucks. So having the health packs around the field is always a nice thing to have. I just possess that here because I have more money. If you run out of money, I think you're dead for good. I think that's game over. It should be. If I remember correctly, it might be game over. I don't remember. But anyway, I tend to try to stay over here in this back area right here. And up on this platform here too. That way I have a good, decent bit of coverage from below. And I have a nice vantage point so I can kind of, you know, peek out and find these guys. I think I got a good shot right there. I can't tell. Maybe not. That one I think missed. Essentially, the best part about this area is the skylines. They give you these skylines so you can start to kind of float around. So if you need to regenerate your shield, if you're under heavy fire and you need to regenerate your shield and quick, then jump on a skyline and then roll right around and, if you can, skyline strike one of these guys and, you know, hopefully take them out that way too. Yeah, also, I do have the one piece of gear that when I'm low on health and if I kill an enemy, just with anything at all, it could be an execution attack, it could be literally anything. As long as I kill somebody when I'm a little bit low on health, then I will actually regain health back. So that's a very nice... God damn, what the hell did I choke on? Oh, sorry about that, folks. I might have to cut that out. But anyway, so, like I was saying... Oh, shit, what was I saying? God damn it. Oh. I don't know. Sorry, I choked on something for a second there. God damn it, what the hell was I saying? Shit. I don't even remember. I had gear, blah, 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 health back, blah, blah, blah. That's really about it. I think I said what I needed to say, so there's really nothing else to say, I guess. And now we get to fight the handyman. Oh, boy. Oh, this is fantastic. So we do have the volley gun, which is going to be nice to have, especially against the handyman, but he's too damn fucking strong. And if you're playing the, what is it, the remastered version, you actually get a gear in the beginning of the game that lets you do more damage to handyman, so that's really nice to have. So, instead of playing this shitty fucking, you know, original version, why not play the remastered version instead? Or if you're a fag like me and you're like, you know what, I want to play, I want to get double the trophies, so I'm just going to play both versions. Yeah, that's my fault for ever getting this game to begin with, right? Okay, so the handyman, here we go. Alright, so my tactic with him is whenever you get close to him, just start pounding his ass. Of course, aim for the chest if you can. If you have the option to, go for the chest as much as you can. I'm going to die, and he's going to get his health back to full, which I think is just complete utter bullshit. But that's just the way, that's the game just telling you, fuck you, so. There is a carbine in this area. Carbine is really good against him, I feel. Sniper rifles are pretty good too, and I will show you one tactic that I know of for sure that I think works somewhat wonders with him. So whenever I get started doing it, actually. So I jump on the skyline, and I think I might be doing it pretty soon. Okay, here we go. So I'm jumping on the skyline, and notice how I'm slowing down, and he's not even hitting me at all. At this point in time, I noticed, I was like, you know what? This is actually a pretty good strategy, because he's throwing these electric balls at me, and he's missing completely. I got a good sniper, so I have a good view on his body, so I can hit him in the chest. Of course, you don't actually stop when you're on the skyline, but when you actually slow yourself down enough, which basically just, you know, hold down the analog stick in a different direction, that's all you have to do. Whenever you do that, it helps your aim just by a lot, and the handyman can't really hit you until he jumps onto the skyline. And when he jumps on there, it takes him like a few seconds for him to electrocute it. So that way you know for sure that, hey, you know, I better get off the skyline before he attacks me. So just keep jumping on the skyline, keep holding back on it, and just keep shooting him down. That's my best strategy for this. That's the best way I found out how to take him down. And of course, I do die relatively soon. I have barely any health, and I know I have an RPG which does minimal amounts of damage, just shit damage. So this right here is just me pretty much freaking out, like wondering what the hell I'm gonna do. The Telsa thing down there, I don't care for it. I don't think it really works too well. If you want to use it, but you know, you don't have to. Okay, so yeah, there's gonna be like 5 minutes worth of me just doing that and just keep dying. So we're just gonna skip ahead of that once he finally comes up here and kills me, which should be relatively soon, because this guy gets a nice jump on me too. He gets me right from behind. Alright, so he's almost dead. There you go. All I was doing was the same strategy over and over again. I was just shooting him, and whenever he's on the skyline like that too, jump down from the skyline near him and then start shooting him while he's on the skyline. That way you have the vantage point on him, and you can shoot him while he's pretty much vulnerable. So leaving him vulnerable is a nice way to do it. Also, they give you an audio cue letting you know, hey, he's about to jump on the skyline, so just be careful of that. Of course, upon killing him, I get my health back. Thank fuck for that. And that is the end of the handyman. That is probably one of the hardest parts in the game, I feel like, is fighting this asshole. This one particularly, because you have all those other douchebags to fight, and you've got barely any guns around the field whatsoever to fight with. And I feel like, you know, there's barely an advantage here for you at all besides the skyline. So coming in here, there's going to be a shield. And then you've got these other couple rooms here, which is just one's a voxophone and one is the way out. So, of course, this is going to be the end of the chapter, essentially. There's supplies on the ship. Nothing too big to worry about. Just that infusion that we just got. Med packs if you need them, and nothing really else. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time when we play more BioShock Infinite on 99mm without using any of the dog machines. So, as always, take care, everybody.